and welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. Thank you for joining me. If you are new here, please think about hitting the subscribe button and then the little bell notification. I've got some exciting things. I'm going to take my glasses off so you can... Ooh. That's scary. Anyway, so y'all, I've got some exciting things coming up for the spring and summer, some gardening stuff. Just a lot of neat things. So please hit subscribe and join my YouTube family. And I'm just excited that you're here today. So tonight we are going to make broccoli and cheese soup. First of all, let me tell you how it came about. I usually let the kids pick what they want for supper if I'm cooking a special supper. And so tonight I decided to let Isaac's girlfriend choose, and she wanted broccoli and cheese soup. So that's what I'm making. And if you, where I used to live in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, Stokes County area, there's this restaurant that we love to eat at called Little Italy, and they had the world's best broccoli and cheese soup. It was so good. It was so good. I thought I wouldn't, when I moved down here, I thought I'll never get it again unless I go up there. Well, let me tell you, I have learned to make broccoli and cheese soup that tastes just as good, if not better than theirs. But it is so good. And you cannot have this broccoli and cheese soup without the crusty bread. So I have got my bread resting. I don't know why they call it resting, but anyway, it's proofing or resting. I've got it in my oven with the oven light on. The oven's not on, just the light's on. So it's in there resting. And so I'm going to get the soup started. So let me tell you what you'll need. I have a chopped onion and one stalk of celery, chopped really small. I'm not a big celery fan, so I like it small, and I like to saute it good and soft. You're going to need some butter. You're going to need, I just buy the frozen broccoli flowerets, and it really only needs one, but my husband likes a lot of broccoli, so I put 2 bags, or at least 1.5. You're going to need some cheese, and I'm going to grate that up in just a little bit. You're going to need 4 cups of chicken broth, and I always add, let me show you what I add. I add also too, when I put the broth in, I add a block of the Knorr chicken bouillon. So I add that. You'll need some half and half. Did I show you the cheese? You'll need some cheese. And I think I use 2 blocks, and I use some of the processed cheese, the Velveeta. So I use some of that in here too. Half and half, and some milk, salt and pepper. That's it. Oh, and flour, because you got to make your roux. So we're going to use a roux. But I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys over here. I'm going to get the onions and the celery on to saute. I'm going to turn my stove top on. Let's see, this pot is kind of big, so forgive me for moving you guys around here. There we go. Sorry. Hoping my phone don't... I have a new tripod, guys. Those of you that watch me know I was having issues with my tripod. So I got me a new one. Alright, and I'm not going to wait for that oil to heat up. It'll heat up in a minute. I'm just going to go ahead and put my onions and my celery in there. And actually, I guess I was a little premature bringing you guys over here. I'm going to shred this cheese up. Let me bring you guys over here while that's getting warm. I'm gonna bring you guys back over here. And we're gonna, normally, and this is, I have never done this like this, shredding cheese. Normally I just use the shredded, pre-shredded in a bag. But I'm kind of just wanting to I'm just going to start this with you guys watching, and then I normally I don't like to shred things because I somehow always seem to get my finger, even though I use the protector when I get down a little closer. Like now. I really don't even know how to use this thing. I can't use that thing. Oh my word. I'm slowing down just because I'm getting close to my fingers, y'all. And I don't want to hurt my fingers. I wonder how you use this thing. Y'all, it ain't meant for me. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I do think that if you shred your own cheese, that it's probably, it doesn't have that added junk that the bag stuff has to keep it fresh. I'm not really on a health kick right now, but I do want to kind of start thinking about things like that. I've seen so many sicknesses, and y'all know what happened to me a few months ago. It hadn't quite been a year yet, and I'm still dealing with that health issue. And so I do kind of want to start thinking about things. Alright, it's going in the soup, it's going to melt, so I'm going to stop there. Now that's one block down. Let me check the other one and check this onion and celery, and I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so I ended up shredding 1.5 blocks of cheese here. I didn't do a full 2 blocks because I am going to add some of the Velveeta processed cheese. And I know you're thinking, you were worried about the shredded cheese and this added stuff. You're going to use Velveeta? Yes, I am. Just because that makes it good. Alright. So, my onions and celery is getting brown. Don't necessarily want them to get that brown, but that's okay. I turned it down. I don't know why it got brown. Anyway, I'm going to pour this up in a plate over here. And now we are going to make our roux. Alright. Back on here. And I'm going to melt a stick of butter. Let me go grab my flour and a whisk. Can't make a roux without flour and a whisk. Y'all, this is my Pampered Chef whisk. And I Love it. I love it so much that I went and bought me another one. And I have a small one. I have two of this size. I have two of this size and one small one. Okay, I'm just getting this butter melted. It's okay if there's tidbits of the celery and onion in there. That's okay, because it's all going to go back in together anyway. While that's melting, I'm going to go ahead and measure out 4 cups of my chicken broth. Okay, y'all, and what I'm going to do, I've poured that chicken broth in a measuring container. I'm going to put my bouillon cube in it and stick it in the microwave really quick, just to get that bouillon melted down in there. The Knorr bouillon cubes are soft and crumbly. I've used them. My mama used Knorr and Wires. I think maybe it's Myers. I don't know. There was another kind I think my mama used sometimes too. Okay. That's not necessary. It's just helps a little bit. Okay, my butter has melted, so I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of flour. And that may be slightly heaping 1/2 cup of flour. Alright, and I'm going to take my whisk. Now this is the part that kind of takes the longest, because you want to cook this down till it gets a nice brown color. And to cook out all that flour taste. So I'm going to stand here and stir for a little bit. And I will bring you guys back when it's ready for the next step. Okay guys, I don't know if you can tell, it is a little bit browner. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the chicken stock. I didn't get my bouillon cube completely mixed in, but it'll mix in here. Now, at this point, what I want to do is, I don't know why I turned the oven off. I just want to mix everything in good, make sure it's good and smooth. And I'm actually going to turn it down to low. And I'm going to put the lid on. I don't want it to boil, really. I just want it to simmer for about 20 minutes. So now that I've got it all stirred up good and the bouillon's melted, some of those tidbits, if you see those little tidbits down there, that's onion and celery. That didn't get out of the pot. Alright, I'm going to put the lid on it. This is not the lid that comes with this pan. It's the only one I could find, but it fits. So as long as it fits, we're using it. Okay, so I'm just going to let it simmer for about 20 minutes and I'll bring you guys back in just a little bit. Okay, so it has cooked, and if you want to see what it looks like, it's just like a really pretty gravy right now. So now I'm going to add back in the onions and celery. Going to put those back in, and we're going to put the broccoli in. Like I said, I normally use 1 thing of broccoli, but Bryant likes 2.
I like a lot of broccoli. So you guys didn't know I was behind the camera, did you?
I have help. It always goes better when he helps me.
Because I make her channel.
Because he makes my channel. Alright, now we're going to put in a whole quart of half and half. And Bryant has already chopped up or sliced up my Velveeta cheese for me. And the reason he did it is because sometimes I don't put the whole block, and he likes the whole block.
I like a lot of Velveeta.
So I'm going in with the whole quart of half and half. And we may add more. I have another, especially since we added extra broccoli. And I'm going to pour in a little over a cup of milk. Oh yeah, I need to turn the burner on. See, he does help me. Okay, we do not want this to boil, so I just want it to simmer good. So I am not turning it. I'm going to actually turn it on low.
Do not curdle the milk.
That's right. I think we need to add more half and half, don't you?
I'd wait till you add the cheese and see.
Okay, wait. All right, so at this point, we're going to cover it again. Oh, let me go ahead and put the salt and pepper in. I like plenty of pepper.
And she likes plenty of salt.
Yeah, but I'm going easy on the salt because the cheese has got some salt in it. And we'll taste it, and if I need to add, I can. Okay, so it is going to simmer again. So we just simmered the broth and the roux for 20 minutes. And now we're going to simmer this again for another 20 minutes. We'll bring you back when that 20 minutes is up.
All right, we're back with you guys in the kitchen with the farming pastor's wife. If you hadn't subscribed yet, hit the little bell up there, subscribe to the channel so you can make sure you get all these delicious recipes on a regular basis as they're added to our YouTube page. Here you go, Miss Leslie's back in action.
He is so good. I think I'll keep him. So I'm just going to add that block and a half. So this, in recap, this is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 ounces of cheese that I shredded myself, but you can use the pre-shredded. I just think I wanted to feel like I was doing something today.
She's using sharp cheddar cheese today.
Yep.
You can actually use the mild if you want. It actually does change the flavor of the soup a little bit depending on what you use. So you may try it one way with sharp, and then the next time with mild to get that flavor that you would like in your broccoli and cheese soup.
And I'm just stirring that around.
Temperature still on low heat.
Yeah, you don't want to turn it up high because you don't want it to boil. You don't want to scorch it, and you don't want to curdle the milk.
It has been simmering for about 20 minutes after we put in the half and half and the broccoli and all the ingredients together.
So now I'm going to put in Bryant's favorite, which is the Velveeta.
That's my favorite right there.
And I'm putting in a whole block because that's what he wants. A whole block.
Recipe only calls for a half. You may once again start with a half and then add to taste. But call me Mickey Mouse because I like the Velveeta cheese. If it were up to me, she could do the whole thing with Velveeta. But it's not up to me. It's up to the farming pastor's wife.
You know, we might could try that and do it all. Just buy one of those great big blocks of Velveeta. Maybe we'll try that next time.
The only problem with Velveeta, it gets quite expensive. It's like $6 for 1 pound container.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. See, she doesn't know anything about pricing. She just buys and uses that thing called a debit card. Cha-ching.
Okay, and so you're just going to stir till it all melts. And then we'll check it and see if I need to add, I may need to add some more half and half or milk once this cheese gets melted down.
Once again, the key is do not overheat the soup. Keep it low. Let the temperature of the roux and the broth melt the cheese. And if by chance you think it may be too thin, you can turn it off, let it thicken up, and then just reheat it, and that will get it to the consistency that you like.
All right, I'm going to put the lid on it, let the cheese finish melting, and then we'll check it and see if we need to add more cream in just a minute. Okay?
All right, guys, we are down to just a few seconds to go on the bread. Here we go. We are ready.
All right. Crusty bread coming out of the oven.
Look at that golden brown crusty bread. Be wishes. That's what Isaac used to say when he was a little boy. He couldn't say delicious, so he said be wishes.
Woo, that pan is hot.
I like for her to take butter. Just rub butter all over top of it.
Listen to how it sounds. It is so crusty on the outside, but when you cut into it, can we cut into it now?
Yeah, cut into it now. But before you do that, I'm going to take this butter.
Oh my goodness, I worked hard on that butter.
She worked hard on that butter. She did. But I like butter all over the top of mine.
With his hands.
It's okay.
There's a knife right there.
It's okay. This is home. This is the
Oh,
farm.
my
Oh,
word.
yes. That was perfect. Look at that juicy butter on top. That's the glistening of the light that you see. Let me change the angle. Oh, we've got an imperfection right here, and I'm just kidding. There's nothing wrong with that right there.
An imperfection? Where do you see an
Just what
imperfection?
it rose right here.
Oh,
Just a
okay.
little differently. Okay, here we go. Oh, you hear her cutting in?
Ah, I can't hold it because it's hot.
If she used her hands like me, she could. Oh, look at it.
Look at that.
Mm.
Woo. Soft on the inside, crusty on the outside.
Great with some oil, balsamic vinegar, and some Italian dressing, and just dredge that bread through that with a heavy balsamic vinegar, and it is amazing. You would think you're in an Italian restaurant. Put me a piece of butter on there. Let me try it, sweetie. Cut that in about a third.
How about in half?
No, oh, that'll be fine. I won't eat it all, but anyway.
I'll eat what you don't.
And what
Now this is what the butter was for.
Yeah, and the butter's been at room temperature. It's been sitting out for a while. So that's what she meant. She worked really hard. What that means is she laid it out like an hour ago. All right, try it, Mom. It's usually me trying and her and me commenting. So today it's her trying and commenting.
Oh my goodness.
It's amazing.
That's so good.
That's so good.
That's so good.
That is a fat man's dream right there.
Fat girl food. There you go. There you try.
All right, I'll eat behind the camera if that's okay with you guys.
They gotta see your reaction.
It is truly amazing. That's good.
Oops. You caught me.
And the soup is ready too.
Soup is ready, but we're waiting on the kids. We'll video that in just a little. Do you want some? You want me to dish
They're
some?
going to dip a bowl.
Okay.
You can't count on the kids because they're on their time, not our time.
Actually, they are on their time. They're getting me donuts for dessert.
Yeah, she ordered some donuts. See, we don't have a Krispy Kreme because we live in a little rural town here of Asheboro, North Carolina. Population 27,000. And so we don't have a Krispy Kreme. But we do have a Glaze King, which is a little bitty hole-in-the-wall restaurant. Not a restaurant, but it's a
Bakery.
dessertery, a bakery, donut bakery. And they do a phenomenal job with their donuts there. I love, it's called a bear claw. And they've also got, what's that apple thing I like?
Apple fritter.
Apple fritter that they make. And that thing it's huge. So, well, here's the broccoli and cheese soup. Look at that creamy richness of that soup right there. A lot of broccoli. That's why I like two packs of broccoli, because I like a lot of broccoli. And so.
And this is what you do.
Go ahead, Mom. You show them what you do.
Well, I can't because the bread is so hot. I dip my bread in that juice.
Just like that. And that is a sinful delight right there.
So good. All right, you eat the soup. I'll take the camera.
All right, here we go, guys. Once again.
It's hot.
It's hot but amazing. I give it a 10 out of 10. Good job, Mom. All right, guys. This is it for our Saturday afternoon. I got caught up on the farm and ministry stuff this afternoon, so I was able to film for Miss Ethel. That's her nickname, Ethel. And so I was able to film for her and allow you guys to see her making this wonderful homemade soup with this crusty bread. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the Farming Pastor's Wife so you can stay tuned with all the great recipes that's to come. She started talking about doing a cookbook, so those of you that leave comments, please leave comments and let her know that you'd like for her to do her cookbook, because I've been encouraging her to do so, and but she needs someone else besides me to do that. So anyway, thank you all for joining. Miss Leslie, anything you want to say?
Just thank you for dropping in and visiting with me on the farm.
All right, please be sure to go to church tomorrow, worship Jesus, our Savior tomorrow, and we'll be back Monday. Have a great evening. God bless you. Bye-bye.